Listen, people have kids to do their bidding. I guarantee you, both of y'all, lovely ladies, when you became of age, you were say, hey, you got to wash these clothes, you got to wash these dishes, you got to start learning how to make meals. The thing is, that's why a lot of parents have kids. And you're sitting up here
Is
saying,
that why they have?
oh, well, the men are outsourcing their abilities and their skills. They're giving it to their sons. And it's acting like women don't make their daughters or even make their sons. I listen, I know so many cousins that are men that are chefs in the kitchen because they were sitting right next to grandma. They were sitting right next to their mama and they cook and they clean all day. Don't argue, don't complain about it. They be in the kitchen like they Emerald Lagasse out
And
there,
then they go
putting a
back and
little
resent
fire.
their parents. Then they complain about
Huh?
their parents when they get of age and resent them and all of that. Y'all see it.
Well, I
Mhm.
don't see it. The brothers that I know, and like I said, this is uh this is my circle, right? The brothers that I know that were taught to cook and taught to clean. Listen, these are some of the most loving and caring brothers that I know. I got
That's
one
what's
brother
up.
in particular. He is a certified chef. And when I tell you the way he loves and serves his kids, man, when it's so real that when he used to get close to the door of his house, you can hear the elation that daddy's home, and they rush to the door. And I just heard this over the phone, and I said, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would close that door and go right back into my car because the fanfare this man received, I mean, it was a lot. But I also realized, I said, yo, listen, like sometimes when men have to like overexert themselves, they just say that's just my lot in life. When women have to overexert themselves, they're like, nah, Negro, you need to help. You need to do this, that, and the third. So it's just like, oh, well, I guess I got to go to scripture. It seems like men are so used to suffering that we expect you to suffer just like we're expected to suffer.
That's crazy to me though. Like what?
I'm saying, but
This
I'm
is
telling
the
you, like
whole.
men, we be suffering.
It's crazy because isn't the goal when we get together to
To make each
alleviate at
other's
least
lives
half of the
easier.
suffering? At least alleviate half of the suffering. Like y'all said, if you're on your own, each individual is doing 100% by themselves, right? So when we get together, it should be, well, at least we alleviate 50% of those responsibilities that we were doing by ourselves. But what it ends up seeming, and I know I'm clearly only speaking from a woman's perspective because I'm not a man, I'm not in your head. I can only go by what I've experienced and what I've seen. Is that the woman ends up taking on more when she gets married, and especially when you add kids into the mix. And so what I mean is on each individual level, when she's by herself, she was taking out her own trash, right? You were taking out your own trash. You were figuring out meals. A lot of times, what I find men do, they outsource their meals. They'll get somebody to, cook it, or they'll go out and they'll go eat or whatever. A woman,
100%.
yeah, she may cook a meal, but that meal will last her for 2, 3 days because she doesn't eat
Y'all
like
Negroes would eat it in one day.
right.
You like
It's one sitting, a whole meal that would have taken you, that would have been your lunch and next day dinner. Plus, if you felt like it, you can also split it up into a lunch. So you have 3 meals out of one meal that you've cooked. Whereas with y'all, that one meal that took us 3 days to eat, that's one sitting for y'all. So
Ninjas be hungry now.
right, right.
sex.
So so for her, the grocery bill goes up when she gets with y'all. She has to cook more often if she's responsible for the cooking. The expectation for the laundry, she's not just only going to be doing her laundry, she's doing your laundry too. So, like, your plate gets lifted when it comes to the household responsibilities. Hers get added on to. And I don't think that y'all necessarily appreciate that. And the reason you don't appreciate it, because I had this conversation with my daughter before, is an expectation. You can't, it's hard to appreciate something that you have an expectation for. And I think that's even as women do it, it would make it a little better if y'all appreciated it. And the appreciation comes with, you know what, babe, let me help you with those dishes. I got it. You rest today. Appreciation comes with, don't worry about it. I'm gonna order dinner tonight because I know it's late. I know you tired. You know what I'm saying? That's that. So that's where the appreciation come in. Like how Shan said, if I saw my mom, struggling, I'm gonna be like, Mom, how can I help? Y'all don't necessarily pick up on those cues.
They don't. I know men who do. It's just some men do. Some men don't do that. They be helping. They be helping. And them the
So,
ones that be staying married.
so, lots to unpack. First thing I wanted to address is Big Boss comment. Her comment was,
Did he just clicked himself off trying to figure out what the comment was?
Yeah, but
And let me say this. Let me say this. And you know that whole protecting thing, right? I'm a single woman. I've been single, and just how I move, right? I can't think of really when I've needed, and God forbid, I've learned how to say stuff like that.
shit, won't he do it?
yes, he does.
He just didn't want you to pull that comment
Well,
up.
I
Which
know
one
which
was
comment
that?
he's
Let me
talking
pull it
about.
up.
she said AP mentality is he doesn't want a wife, he wants a maid. Ma'am, you
He
would
paid
be
the bills
so.
out.
I'm getting there.
Oh,
You would be
Listen,
so fortunate to be my wife. You realize I bring in a maid. I used to bring in a maid 4 days a week. She knocked it down to two. I'd keep it at four. I actually do my own laundry because I like my clothes folded a certain way, and I believe it to be unfair for me to ask her to do my clothes the way I want my clothes done. And since I like it done a very specific way, I do my own clothes. We used to have meal prep. She canceled that because she wanted to grow a garden and she wanted to make sure that we ate properly. That's what she did. You would be so fortunate to be in her place. You know how many bills she pays? Don't
give
worry,
me
I'm gonna tell you. Not one, not nan one, not nan one. So
I put
you
it in.
would be so fortunate. So until you understand, you just making raggedy ass statements from a raggedy ass woman who has never had a man treated the way a man is supposed to treat a woman. So enjoy your life. I said what I said. So speaking of talking about helping out, y'all are right. There is a level, in my opinion, where men should help out. He should be able to know his wife or a girl or whatever they are well enough to know when she is empty. With that being said, there are still expectations that are in the home that need to be done, whether it's daily, bi-weekly, monthly. Those expectations need to be met because you set those expectations early on in the relationship. Miss Taken has already spoken about it. She said that's what he decided on. We talked about it, and that's what works for us. That's how you have successful relationships. You said all of that right out the gate, and either you choose to accept it or you don't, but you don't waste any time when you know that that is not something you can keep up. If you really want to know what my expectation, how I think about
Don't
relationships.
start now. Won't be done.